Hi guys, welcome back to Ask a Psychologist. My name is Nqobile Maphumulo and I'm our resident clinical psychologist. So on today's episode, we're going to be discussing something that's quite interesting. I know that this question has come up quite a lot. I think one of the people had actually asked this question on one of the previous videos that we had posted. And that question is, can certain substances trigger psychosis? And unfortunately, the answer for that is yes. So sometimes we may find that depending on different people, because people are different, we have different tolerance levels, we can have different genetic makeups as well. So you can find that for some people, if they either are overly intoxicated with a certain substance, which in most cases is usually either alcohol or cannabis, as a response to that substance, they can end up enacting something that's similar to a psychotic episode. So psychosis is basically disorganized behavior. It's either hearing things that other people don't hear, seeing things that other people don't see, and just behaving in a way that would normally classify as odd. So it can happen sometimes that if you're overly intoxicated by a certain substance or going through a period of withdrawal from being highly intoxicated by a certain substance, that it can enact a psychotic behavior. However, this doesn't happen for everyone, and it's not also permanent. So you don't stay in that psychotic state. But you can also find instances where you might find that somebody either has a family history of someone with schizophrenia or a past major brain injury or a family member with a psychotic disorder. And then what happens is that sometimes if you intoxicate yourself with certain substances, they can trigger that genetic code that may already be in your system and that's just been lying dormant. And that can then again trigger a psychotic episode, which might in the future lead to a more serious, more long-term diagnosis of something like schizophrenia or something like a psychotic disorder and so forth. So, moral of the story, drugs are bad. So unfortunately, you never really know what's on your genetic makeup, but there are different forms of genetic testing where you can go to a specialist and they can see what are some of the genes that you're carrying, what are some of the things that you might be carrying that are either laying dormant and so forth. So that's probably one of the ways that I can think of right now which can help you to find out if in actual fact you will become psychotic if you induce any substances. But again, like I said, that people are different, and it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody that's carrying a specific gene that it's going to become activated at a certain period of their life. So I think the best thing to do is to just get a genetic test if you can, and if you're using any form of recreational substances or so forth, maybe just know your limits, know what's good, what's not so good, what's street drugs and so forth, that you are ingesting things that are safe, if I can put it in that way. And also, like I said, if it so happens that it does trigger a psychotic episode or a psychotic disorder, there are different forms of treatment. Remember, an episode is not permanent, so you will experience that psychotic behavior for a brief period of time. But even at that as well, get yourself checked into a doctor or take that family member to a hospital, get treated by a psychiatrist. There's different forms of pharmaceutical drugs that can be used to help treat that psychosis. And even if it's something like a psychotic disorder or schizophrenia as well, a psychiatrist, a doctor, full medical team can help give you medicine that can help you learn how to live with that disorder. So thank you so much for watching this episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, comment, share, do the most. And if you have anything that you'd like for us to cover, please just leave your comments on the comment section and we'll definitely try to cover it in the next upcoming episodes. Bye.